Snake eyes and sevens, you can feel it in the air. You see your fortune and your fame. Wanna take a spin, wanna take a roll. You know you're dealing with the wild card.
Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be going over cheating and all the types of cheating. We're going to start with the least detrimental cheating and work our way up towards the most detrimental cheating. I'm not sure if a lot of people are going to make it to the end of the video, so I'll just mention it now. I'm fine with cheating so long as an enemy tribe cheats first, because the way WILDCARD deals with like cheating and stuff, it's honestly just terrible, and it comes down to a point where you have to fight fire with fire, unfortunately. At this point in time, I believe everyone cheats, even big YouTubers like Shockist. It's honestly sad that it's come down to this point where you have to cheat to defend your base. Otherwise, you're at a huge disadvantage. And this is honestly sad that the reason that this happens is because the devs are terrible. They do little to like no action. And honestly, that's the purpose of making this video, is to spread awareness and hopefully something can change so the game can be at a better state. And it makes me quite irritated because Arc is such a good concept, but it's just not executed correctly. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so first we're going to start off with account sharing. Here's the thing, I'm going to make a generalization that almost everyone uses account sharing. We're not going to be oblivious to the fact that a lot of tribes on Smalltribes, they often have like more than like 6 players playing at once. What usually most tribes do is they do 6 NAs, 6 EUs, and I feel like there's not really a fix on this. The reason I consider it cheating is because it's like false advertising for small tribes. You see small tribes, you think it's only a maximum of 6, no more than that, but that's clearly not the case for a lot of the bigger tribes. So what can WILDCARD do about this? The only solution I see is that they remove the slot cooldown. That way, if your base needs to be defended, you don't have the right people online, they can't get online. That way, those people that are not playing with account share are not at a disadvantage, because regardless of what WILDCARD can do, it's still gonna happen anyways. Because I mean, what are they gonna do? Make it so you can't log on to Arc on another computer for 24 hours, right? Like that just wouldn't work. So ultimately, that's the solution that I see. Just remove the slot cooldown. Alright, the next point is teaming. This one's kind of tied to the last one. And once again, like the last one, this one's only tied with small tribes. The main idea of small tribes is for it to be a 6v6. But if you play small tribes, once again, that's clearly not the case. So the way some people build certain base spots, they push out turrets far enough where it's in multiple renders. And for a lot of cases, WILDCARD allows for 2 tribes to fob because it's considered 2 different base locations. That just takes away from the small tribes experience. I mean, will it make it a lot of bases harder to raid without the ability to double fob? Absolutely. But I think it's for the best, so that there's no controversy on whether something is allowed to be double fobbed or not. Also, teaming can also be on the defense, not just offense. When a tribe is getting fobbed, oftentimes they'll call spinners, aka aimbotters, and they'll push with more than 6 people. So what can WILDCARD do about this? Of course, they're already taking action, but I believe that WILDCARD should expand their dev team. That way, reports and cheaters get dealt with a lot quicker than they already are getting dealt with. Alright, the next type of cheating is duping. This has been an issue throughout the entirety of Arc, but only recently has it become a problem with excessive amount of duping. Like, for example, a lot of tribes nowadays, they have crowd fridges full of meks that are all the same. I'll show you guys a clip of what I mean.
If I could write you a song to make you fall in love, I would already have you up under my arm. I used up all of my tricks, I hope that you like this, but you probably won't. You think you're cooler than me. You got designer shades just to hide your face, and you wear them around like you're cooler than me. And you never say hey or remember my name, and it's probably cause you think you're cooler than me. You got your highbrow shoes on your feet, and you wear them around like it ain't shit. But you don't know the way that you look when your steps make that much noise. Shh, I got you all figured out. You need everyone's eyes just to feel seen behind your makeup.
As you saw in the clips, you saw a cyan meks and gray meks. These are the NSS meks and the mech army meks. So the issue with duped meks is meks are a rare endgame item that is generally hard to acquire, and they're supposed to be rare, but once again, clearly that's not the case. Now, the problem with everyone having unlimited amounts of meks is that you can do stuff like in the clip where you could just drop defenses easily without a hassle. It doesn't even require skill. So there's that. And that's just one issue with duping. Another issue with duping is a lot of tribes like to dupe tech suits, rifles, anything that's basically hard to get. People dupe it. And honestly, this type of cheating isn't as bad as the following that are going to be on the list. I would much rather wildcard fix every other issue, or try to resolve at least every other type of cheating before they fix duping, because although it's game breaking, at the same time it does make the game more fun in the sense that you're capable of doing more stuff, like raiding more. And it's even more fun when you raid a base and you end up with a bunch of loot that you wouldn't have had if it weren't for duping. The next type of cheating is quite controversial. So, to my understanding, is the CC blueprints that you see on Smalltribes, especially the flag blueprints. Apparently, they were spawned in by a pocket dev, which I do believe is true, because realistically, there's no way you're going to get a 1k Dura flag set. Like, you could run OSDs or run loot drops or all that types of stuff. Chances are you're never going to get anything above 800 Dura on flag. And even let's say that the blueprints weren't spawned in, which I believe they were. But let's just say that the first tribe to get the flag set BPs got them legit. Just like the last type of cheating that I mentioned, duping, I don't believe that every tribe should have access to these BPs, because it makes the game way too easy, and essentially it's also just linked to duping that. And because every tribe nearly has access to all these blueprints, it eliminates the fact of doing OSDs, collecting drops. A lot of the stuff in the game is basically useless as far as the loot system. The next type of cheating is RMT, or short for real money trading. This one I despise the most, and it also violates the code of conduct. But for those who are not aware, trading is very common in ARC. That's fine. In-game for an in-game is fair, up until the point where money is involved. And the reason that I think that it's completely bullshit is that it takes away from the survival aspect. And pretty much you can pay to win your way to the top. If you're getting raided, you can pay $100 for the people to leave. Like, the thing is, I just don't think that money should be involved in ARC at all. I mean, there's not a lot that Wildcard can do. This is a very hard issue to tackle, but I believe Wildcard should try to do something. I don't know what to suggest. What I hope is that Wildcard doesn't just open up an in-game shop. That way the revenue comes towards them, because realistically that also doesn't fix the problem, and it just ruins the aspect of PvP. But yeah, for sure, this I also want to mention that the amount of money that some people will even go as far as spending to buy stuff, like a lot of people like to buy bases on Smalltribes, for example. I've seen some people buy a big lunar for upwards of $2,000, which is just a stupid amount of money to spend on a video game, I believe. Alright, the next type of cheating is spoofing. This one's completely out of your control, and it's, once again, this one's pretty much just fucking straight up bullshit. So, for those who are not aware, spoofing is basically where an account gets hacked. Usually an owner, but it can also be an admin, but basically they log on to the account and they incite from there. To my understanding, it's mostly common if you play Arc on Epic Games. The accounts are easier to hack versus Steam. I'll show you guys a clip of what I mean. So basically what you saw from the clip, that's spoofing. I wasn't sure if to put this later in the video because it's extremely fucked up, but I do see it less common now, but it's still an ongoing issue. Alright, the next type of cheating is dropping server and capping server glitch. So basically, for those who are not aware, the dropping server is pretty self-explanatory. There are a bunch of methods. The most common one is you run around with an exomech picking up a bunch of snap structures. That way the server shits itself and server goes down. Oftentimes it causes a rollback. And this usually happens when a tribe starts to lose. They will drop a server in order to buy time until they have more players. And the server cap glitch, I've only recently started seeing it. And basically it's self-explanatory. You slot cap a server with bots, and let's say the other tribe you're trying to raid right now, they don't have anyone online. It's basically an offline raid and it's out of your control and you're wiped from there because you can't join server. And I had a friend who he lost a shadow cave because the glitch was used on him and he couldn't defend, and that was pretty much the end of it. All right, the next type of cheating is exploits, and the main one I'm gonna be going over is grapple glitch. This one is unintended exploit in the game. It makes basically raiding a lot easier by making it easy to rocket run, and makes caves too easy to raid in my opinion. And it's obviously not an intended feature. Now, however, if WILDCARD wants to make it an intended feature and they say that, then I'd be fine with it. I think it should either be fixed or it should just be mentioned as a working feature. I'll show you an example of what I mean. As you clearly saw, the grapple glitch is very OP, and I don't believe the base would have gotten wiped as easy. I'll link the video in the description if you want to see the full video. Alright, the next type of cheating is meshing. Lately, this has been way more common. The fuck? Oh, never mind. Dog just scared me. Alright, anyways, it's way more common than you'd expect. Meshing has been around the game for quite some time. Probably even since the start of ARC, but since the start they have added anti-mesh systems, but clearly those don't really fucking work. But I mean, they have helped, but if you're dedicated, you could get around those death barriers, and meshing is basically still possible. So what Wildcard should do, I think the solution here is just to make the barriers better, work on that, and yeah. Because meshing is honestly fucked. And also, it's out of your control now. You can't even defend your base because since the remove of the railgun, you can't really kill meshers, unfortunately. Your best bet is just to have a bunch of internals and hopefully you're online while you get meshed. Let me show you guys a clip with an example of meshing.
We left server for like 15 minutes, not even, to go grief 60. And I come back and the entire wall's meshed. I got my 0 hole walls gone.
Sadly, Arc Official has come to a point where when big tribes can't raid you, they most likely start cheating to take you down. And me being honestly, getting meshed sucks, and sadly most of the time there isn't really a way to counter it. And what's making things even worse is that wildcard support for the official servers is pretty bad.
Leave for 5 minutes, come back, mesh base. Mesh based. Base meshed.
Nice car.
Bro, what the Mesh base! Mesh base! Mesh mesh!
Mesh base, base mesh.
Base mesh, mesh base.
Bro, all the turrets underneath as well. Bro, these kids went ham trying to...
Alright, as you guys saw in the clip, basically the middle wall of the ice cave was dropped while nothing was even thrown out at the crouch, which was clearly signs of it being mashed. And recently my tribe had wiped an island ice and we experienced the same issue where our ice cave was getting meshed. Not only that, we were getting teamed on while we were defending the ice cave. The next type of cheating is illegal racer. This one isn't as common as it was before, but it's still pretty game breaking. Basically, you could run a racer to a turret tower and you wouldn't get shot at all, or barely you would get shot, and it would just make dropping turret towers way too easy, and it also violates the code of conduct. Let me show you guys an example of what I mean. And the last type of cheating that I'll be talking about is aimbot and client hacks. So nowadays, for those who are not aware, aimbot is just about anywhere. Currently, there's a cheat going on around called chanceware. This one's a very cheap aimbot. It's around $50, I believe, something like that, and you get it for a month. There's a lot of things that you can do with these cheat clients that just make the game unfair. So you have like, you could drop a bag and transfer out of it, and you could also download dinos, I believe. You have speed hacks, you have insta turn, you have aimbot, and there's so many more things that you can do with these cheats that are just unfair. And it almost seems like wildcard rarely takes action, since ARC cheating, especially like aimbot, it's so common. Like it's almost like if I'm playing Black Ops 2. Once again, let me show you some clips on aimbot and client hacks.
Están haciendo algo. Solamente detectaron, más no.
Sí, pero es que
Entonces, con el Railgun, ¿qué están haciendo?
no se ven ni siquiera, están lejos.
Pero con ese giga.
¿Dónde está? ¿Se está acá?
No, aquí está, se teleporta nada más.
Madre mía. Oh, wow, oh my god.
Madre mía.
A la
Oh my
verga,
God.
corre durísimo, güey.
Oh my god.
I just got imagine. Just dismount him and whistle it onto him.
It's too late, mate. He's already raged it.
Just whistle it
¿No
onto
más
him.
que un giga se mueve así?
My conclusion is I believe wildcard should take action, and just like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the purpose of this whole video was just to expose how bad cheating is in Ark, and it shouldn't be ignored, because honestly this game is a perfect concept, and the only flaw is that the devs just don't know what they're doing, I feel like, and it could honestly be the best survival game, maybe even better than Rust. It's garbage to play PvP right now with all these exploits, cheats. I know I've been bashing wildcard throughout the whole video, but I will admit they have made some enforcing on cheaters, such as for a long time there was an ongoing cheat with railgun where you could just shoot through force fields and basically you would get spawn camped and you couldn't really defend your base. But it's kind of bad how they ended up resolving the issue. Instead of actually fixing the railgun, all they did was just vault it. And now, what do they leave? You can't even defend your base from mesh. It seemed just like a band-aid fix, not really like an actual fix. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
Have you ever kissed a girl?